I wrestle with the part that you keep bringing up of maybe something personal happened with Jimmy. Maybe it got personal between him and Pat Riley or whoever. And I can empathize with that up to a point. Like I said, I don't understand why he's dragging his teammates into it. But then also, when you hear stuff like that and stuff happens, to me, there's a difference between this is Jimmy Butler and he's in kind of a tough situation because he was lied to or he was misled or whatever, and he's trying to navigate it, but he's also he's upset. And there's a difference between that, like on a human level, and the premeditated, I'm going to be a problem.
Yes.
And that's what it looks like right now.
No, that is a great observation by you. It really is. See, for me, Basonians, it's really bothering me because I'm looking at this situation right now and I'm thinking of Jimmy Butler. Are you really telling me that Jimmy Butler didn't have something personal happen between him and Pat Riley? And this is how he's acting? Can you imagine? Just stop and think about that.
Well, then I don't want him.
Stop. And this is why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah.
It's got to be something personal. Pat Riley did something personally wrong to Jimmy Butler that is making him act like this. But imagine if that's not the case. Imagine, and you may say, well, Wolf, they wouldn't sign him to an extension. That isn't personal.
That's not personal.
That's not personal.
Money is not personal enough.
And this is what is bothering me right now. That's professional. And Jimmy has benefited from the system being what it is. This hyper-aggressive mercenary league filled with mercenaries. That's why you can never forget that you are a mercenary. Because you might have somebody saying, I'm not going to pick up your extension. Okay, great. See you later. I'm gonna honor my contract, of course. But after that, I'm going. And I'm gone. And the reason being is because this is the way that it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it bothers me. Because if you tell me there's nothing personal involved, and this is the way that Jimmy Butler's acting, if that's the case, I don't want him as a Phoenix Sun.
No, if this is just, if he really is like, I want my money now for 2 years from now, I mean, that's basically what this would be about.
You want to extend me, and because of that, I'm not getting on the plane.
Now, if you tell me that they promised him they were extending him and he moved his family there and he set up all this, then it's at least a little more personal. Because personal to me is not, you're not giving me as much money as I want. Personal to me is, I don't trust you. And you're my GM.
Correct.
Or whoever. I don't trust you and you're my
right
coach. Because then it's like, if you don't trust him, you got to get out. Like, realistically, like at a certain point, you probably do need to leave. You still don't need to leave like this. The other part of this is, like, there's a lot of different ways to go with this. But the other part of this that we need to at least talk about here is none of this matters if Bradley Beal's like, no, I got the no trade clause.
No.
Move on.
No.
Then everybody in the league has to move on.
Okay. I don't know. Wouldn't you know that? You have to know right now. You have to know who Bradley Beal would be interested in playing for. Correct? Because Brad knows. He understands.
Well,
he's a mercenary. He's in this mercenary league. He understands what's going on. He's getting paid a massive amount of money, as we all know. He understands how it works. Why not work with the Phoenix Suns if you're Brad Beal? Instead of against them. Why not offer up, here's a couple of teams I'd really like to play for?
I have to think at some point, like, does he really, if they really want to move him, if that's their only way to, if they really want Jimmy Butler or whoever, and everything else goes into place, and they've traded for these additional draft picks, and they get a deal laid out, and he's like, nah.
Yeah.
Like, then it's really awkward for everybody
yes.
for the rest of the season and next season.
Yeah. Can I just, I'll give you an example. I was playing in 1993. I was playing for, or 1993, yes. 1993, I was playing for the Cleveland Browns. And after a practice during training camp, I was walking through the breezeway of the facility building in Berea, Ohio, walking through it. And there's Bill Belichick. And Bill was standing there waiting for me. I found out. He called me over and said, Wolf, come here. Listen, we've got some salary situations that we're going to have to clean up here. Okay? Are you okay? Are you okay if we go ahead and we cut $120,000 from your salary? And I said, well, are you giving me an option? He said, no.
On the surface, no, I'm not okay.
And I said to him, Coach, it's fine. He said, okay. What I'm going to do is shoot you $50,000 right now as a signing bonus. We'll alter the contract, and I'm going to give you 50 grand.
Nice.
Okay, he negotiated that contract with me. That never was personal. It was purely professional.
Yeah.
Even though I felt like I had a relationship with the guy as my coach, it never got personal.
Yeah.
And so I know it can happen. You just have to look at it as a professional thing. I just don't know why Jimmy would be so upset that he had to play next year. He could pick an option up for $52 million next year.
There's worse things.
Is that really going to? Yes, there's a lot worse things. And that to me is why I'm also, some bells and whistles are going off. Man, have you lost perspective, Jimmy? Have you? Because Devin Booker, you played a cut from Book earlier in the broadcast that he's talking about perspective, and he always brings that perspective. It's one of the things I love the most about the guy.
And I don't necessarily want to put a guy who has no perspective around Devin Booker all day, every day either. Not that I think Book would be like, well, Jimmy has really turned me on to some new ways to handle things. I'm not going to get to the team flight and I'm going to get suspended and I'm going to hate my – I don't think that's going to change Devin Booker. But it's just like, what have we seen or heard from Jimmy Butler in the last few months that makes you want him on the team? Or are we doing this based on how great he was in 2020 in the bubble when he dragged his team to the NBA Finals?
Yes.
That's right now what it feels like.
And you know the way I feel, once again, I do believe Jimmy Butler would bring all of that goodness that the Phoenix Suns really need.
I do too, but you said this the other day. Can you really step in the middle of the season and immediately tell people what to do?
No, that would be really, really hard. Now, again, he might already have a bit of a relationship with Devin Booker, might already have a bit of a relationship with KD, might already have some of these relationships established. So you never know. You never know until you know who do you know inside that locker room. But, it's hard to walk in and suddenly goes, okay, I'm going to lead. Get behind me. It's a little tough.
I'm going to read you this quote from John Hollinger real quick from The Athletic. And it's a much longer quote, but he's talking about, the reasons they made that trade and just sort of the logic behind the one first-round pick for the three lesser first-round picks. So he's talking about different reasons why they would do it. And he says, quote, second, Phoenix probably wouldn't do this unless it was doing something big because this is the Suns' last chip. I can't emphasize this enough since the Suns keep coming up with deals to squeeze more out of their diminishing draft pick stock. This is where it ends, unquote. That's ominous.
That is ominous. What do you take from that?
This is where it ends.
Yeah, it is. But there's no doubt in my mind, again, that if you tell me that it did get personal and it's between Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler, whatever that might be, I don't need to know, Basinonians. I just need to know that it did.
I don't need to know what happened. I just need to know what happened.
I just need to know that this is why he's acting so insanely, frankly.
Yeah, it's it feels like something's going on.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.